Alright, so I'm here with Ray West, a real-life roadside hero. First off, how often do you feel like your job is basically a game of Frogger?
90% of the time.
So pretty much every time you're out there, you have to worry about some distracted driver treating you like an obstacle in a video game.
Yes.
Have any specific stories you want to share?
I have one. About 2 years ago, we were out on Christmas Eve. We had a real bad snowstorm. And we'd just been pulling out trucks after trucks. We probably had about 15 that day. And then we were down to we were without our last two. And when we get one pulled out, with two trucks, we got it winched up on the road. And then we had one truck facing traffic and the other truck going with traffic after we winched the truck up on the road. And then we start to hook our truck up to the front of it, and all of a sudden we hear tires screeching, and then wham, truck slammed into our other wrecker and shoved it down in the ditch. Thankfully it didn't push the wrecker into our truck because we were laying underneath that semi that we just winched out to hook it onto our truck. It was a very close call. People could have avoided it if they were paying attention to the road conditions and down the road. We run bright yellow lights, red and blue lights. You can see those from miles away. And if the weather is bad, you should be driving slower anyway. So you can see if something's coming up, so you don't hit your brakes right when you're at it. That was pretty much my closest call out there, other than loading cars on a rollback over by Colby. It was in a curve when you're in a blind side, and people just don't slow down and move over. I literally had to jump up on the bed, and the car went right by me. Barely missed me by the mirror. That was pretty much my closest call, was those two.
What's the one thing you wish every driver out there understood about working roadside?
I wish I knew how it was being out there on the wreckers, and how being on the side of the highway, how people don't get over because they either have these big tablets or they're watching their phone or something and not paying attention to the road. Usually they don't look up till last minute, or they don't look up at all. And then it's too late. Usually they're too close.
Yeah. And then one last question. What do you say to the people who say tow truck drivers aren't first responders?
I wouldn't say we're not first responders. I think we should be. Because usually at the fire department or police department, the vehicle's wedged and the fire department can't get it lifted. They call a wrecker company to come lift it up so they can extract the people. And we come out and open the roads for them all the time, so I don't see how we're not a first responder, because if we have to clear the road so they can have an open road for people to drive, I don't see how we're not. That's kind of, should be a first responder, I guess.
Alright. Thank you. It's not complicated, people. If you see a tow truck, slow down. And if you can't slow down, move over. Because if you don't, best case scenario, you'll get a fat ticket. If not, you'll have to live with the fact that you killed someone for the rest of your life.
Slow down, move over, it's the law.